Our next guest is an Emmy and Grammy-nominated and Tony Award-winning actress and singer who you know from her work on Broadway in Sunday in the Park with George, Annie Get Your Gun, and Gypsy, and shows such as Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, Ally McBeal, and Mozart in the Jungle. She's performing for one night only here in New York at Carnegie Hall as a part of the Originals concert series on October 28th. Please welcome to the show the legendary Bernadette Peters, everyone. You look resplendent.
Well, thank you very much. I'm on my way to the Princess Grace Awards.
The Princess Grace Awards?
I'm introducing Michael Douglas. He's getting the Prince Rainier Award
Oh,
tonight.
my goodness.
Isn't that exciting?
I can't believe another year where I'm the bridesmaid. One of these years,
Maybe. I'm hopeful.
Will you put in a good word when you're there for me?
I will.
Thank you.
I will, absolutely.
You're no stranger to this building. You did Johnny Carson when he was here. You did David Letterman when he was here.
I did.
You hosted SNL in 1981.
I did, and I just took a look at the studio.
Yeah.
And it looks much smaller than I remember. You know, I think it's like when you go home after all the years and you go home to your family home and it's teeny tiny.
Yeah. This was, I found this interesting because we got a picture from you at Good Nights, and obviously there's Eddie Murphy there, but there's also, did you remember that there was a... I certainly don't remember the sketch where that's Tim Kazurinsky holding a monkey. Do you remember anything about the monkey?
I don't, but you know, I love animals. They follow me around. I don't.
So you don't think the monkey had anything to do with the show? You think it was just there as a fan of yours?
Probably.
Probably. Do you remember anything about working with Eddie Murphy?
Yes. I remember that he had to do a sketch with his shirt off. And he was so embarrassed. He was saying, my grandmother's going to see this. Of course, now his whole career changed after that.
Yeah.
I was like,
I think his grandmother saw a lot of things.
After that, yeah.
You mentioned that animals follow you around. You usually hear you should never work with one while performing, but you worked with, you did a Broadway show with a live animal.
Oh, yeah. Yes, there was a lovely little dog.
Okay.
And she was a wonderful actress.
Okay.
And at first she was indicating, but she learned not to do that anymore. You know, and she relaxed in the scene and she was in the moment. Well, one night she was in her dressing room enjoying listening to the show.
Of course it happens, right?
And she heard her cue coming up.
The dog.
The dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but her handler wasn't there to take her upstairs. And you know that feeling when you think you're going to miss your cue.
Of course, terrifying.
Or when you miss your cue.
It's like nightmares I still have.
Exactly. Yeah. So obviously this little dog had that feeling.
Right.
So she, all by herself, she's this big, she got herself up one flight of stairs, she got herself up the next flight of stairs, and she got herself onto the stage level and in the wings, and she made her cue.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic. I feel like there should be a special Tony for a dog like that.
I know. She was the most professional actress I ever worked with.
This is very exciting. You had not been on the stage at Carnegie Hall for 30 years. And you're returning.
Almost 30 years.
And you're returning on Monday.
Monday night. I love that place because it's like a horseshoe when you're on the stage. It embraces you. And it's just so exciting.
Yes,
you know,
it's so exciting.
It's New York. It's Judy Garland. I mean, the last time I was there, I actually... You guys are probably too young to remember, but Judy Garland, she actually sat on the edge of the stage and sang a song. And so I did that last time.
Oh, will you do it this time?
I don't know if I have the right number, but maybe.
Yeah, you gotta sit on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You've been performing a solo show for a great many years. You're about to go out west. Is there anything out there you get as excited about as
Well, yeah, I'm going to be singing with the Pacific Symphony in Costa Mesa.
Oh, my goodness.
That's the next one, yeah. Then I go to Ann Arbor, Michigan. I mean, I'm all over the country.
Do you still love it? Do you still love being on the road?
I do.
That's great.
I do, because the audiences are just, they love theater. The people that come to see me love theater, and so they're all excited to hear all the Sondheim music and the Jerry Herman music and all of that. I love it.
There's a Sondheim show, Old Friends. That's coming to Broadway next year?
It is.
That's
yes.
very exciting.
Yes,
Are you
it
very
is.
excited to be doing
I
it?
am. We did it in London.
Okay.
And it was a great hit.
Wonderful.
And we're bringing it to New York. And Lea Salonga and a whole other cast. I just found out who's in it. I didn't even know who was going to be in it. So it's all very, very exciting.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
And are you part of the process of picking which Sondheim songs are going to be in the show?
What happened was how this came to be. This is about the third Sondheim review, and Cameron McIntosh and Steve during the pandemic. Steve said, it's time to do another review. And so they got together and there was a list of songs. And then when Cameron called me, he said, well, you know, what would you like to do? And I thought, well, you know, I picked some songs, and then I'm always picking songs that other people sing in the shows because I'm in the wings going, oh, that is wonderful. I love that. That's wonderful. So that's what I end up doing.
When you first, were you fast friends with Steven when you first met him?
I met him first when I was at very long ago, a table at Joe Allen's, is the famous, you know, the Broadway hangout. And he was with somebody that knew someone I was with, and so he sat with us at the table. And of course, I was starstruck and I couldn't really talk to him much. And then years later, I met him at when we were doing Sunday in the Park, and that was really it. And I miss him a lot. We became I loved calling him and talking to him.
Yeah,
so.
I think everybody who ever crossed his path misses him in that same way.
But he left us with this great canon of music.
It's fantastic. It's great you're one of the people keeping it alive. You mentioned your love of animals. It is not just on stage. You are a true lover of animals on stage. You're not just interested in like performing animals or famous animals.
No.
You and Mary Lee Tyler Moore started a charity years ago. Can you talk about that?
Broadway Barks.
Broadway Barks.
Yeah.
So what does Broadway Barks do?
Well, 26 years ago, we realized that the animals that were in shelters were just not being adopted because people didn't understand back then how lovely these animals are and how they're just homeless. And when you adopt a rescue, they are so grateful. They make the most wonderful companions. And so now people go, well, I have a rescue and I have you know, it's like, but they're beautiful. And these are beautiful creatures that are here on the earth for us, basically.
And you have a couple of your own. Can you, this is a real coy one right here. Tell us a little bit of, who's this?
Charlie with the side eye. That's my Charlie.
Yeah.
He actually.
Charlie, that does look like it's been like, you coming home pretty late.
He howls at me if I come home late.
Really?
And he sings.
Oh, wonderful. Well, of course, you need a singing dog.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, the other day I was playing my trumpet, and he was singing to it.
How often do you play your trumpet?
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I mean, you got a dog that sings along. You do more often than that.
Well, yeah.
All right, so that's Charlie. And then who's this fellow here?
Oh, that's Rosalie, my pit bull that wears pink pearls.
Oh, my God.
And she's afraid, you know, she's afraid of rain. And she's afraid of snow. Oh, my God, I can't go. She's afraid of, you know, wind. She's just a dear, dear little thing. Very smart, too.
Okay,
Very
and do the two of them get along at all?
Oh, they're so bonded. I can't. When we go to the vet, if the vet says to me, "Come and look at this thing over here," then Charlie has to go, "What is that?" Like, you know.
We should get a second opinion.
Yeah.
You know, as a fellow dog, I would love to take a look at this.
Exactly.
I'm very excited for what you're undertaking on Monday. It is very fitting.
Thank
It is
you.
very New York.
I'm excited too.
It's very New York to have you back in Carnegie Hall. I think that is a
Thank
perfect
you. Thank
combination.
you.
Thank you so much for being here. We
I'm
just
loving
love talking to you. Bernadette Peters, everyone. She will perform for one night only at Carnegie Hall on Monday, October 28th. And more information about upcoming closer dates, please visit officialbernadettepeters.com. Stick around. We'll be right back.